In today's video, I will be talking about classification of living organisms. So, what is classification? Classification is that when we have a lot of variety among things, so we classify them in groups by putting all things that have similar characteristics or similar features in one group, and then things that have again leftover things that have similar characteristics and feature into another group, and then in the similar way groups are formed, and each group consists of things that have similar features or similar characteristics. In biology, we know that there is a lot of variety among living things. So, all living organisms are also classified into groups, and each group consists of living things that have similar features. So, why do we need to classify? Living organisms are classified to make their study more easy and efficient. How living things are classified? In past, living organisms were classified on the basis of their morphology and anatomy. What is morphology? Morphology is that organisms are classified or grouped on the basis of their physical appearance or on the basis of the shapes of their bodies. We used to classify them all living organisms that had similar physical appearance, similar structure or shapes of the body were classified into one group, and in the similar way, different groups were formed. And in anatomy, living organisms are dissected, their bodies are dissected, and then their structures are studied, and then living organisms are grouped or classified on the basis of their structure. So it can be explained with examples. There is a sheep and loin. Both of them have similar morphology. They have hairs on their surface, so they are classified into one group, that is mammals. And over here we can see that their bodies are dissected. Human, horse, whale, turtle, frog, and bird. Their bodies are dissected, and then arrangement of bones are studied. That's the example of anatomy. And then living organisms that have similar arrangement of bones are going to be placed into one group because they have same anatomy. Over here, we can see that these human and horse have quite similar arrangement of bones, and they are classified in one group, that is mammals. If we talk about present days, currently DNA is an important tool that is used to study evolutionary relationships, and DNA is further used to classify living organisms into groups. So, what is DNA? DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acids, and where it is present, our chromosomes that are present inside the nucleus of a cell are made up of DNA. All chromosomes are made up of DNA, and DNA is a genetic material that is passed from parents to offsprings. And this is the reason why offsprings have a lot of resemblance with their parents. And again, offsprings are going to pass this DNA into next generation. So this is the genetic material that is passed from one generation into another generation. If we talk about the composition of DNA is made up of a phosphate group, sugar, and bases, four different bases. It can be either adenine, A stands for adenine, T stands for thiamine, C stands for cytosine, and G stands for guanine. So there is different arrangement of these bases that you can see over here, that this arrangement can vary from individual to individual or from species to species. So biologists use the sequence of these four bases in different species. Basically, on living organisms are classified on the basis of the sequence of these four bases. And if individuals have a lot of similarity among the sequence of these four bases, we classify them into one species. We say them that these individuals are quite related to one another. And if we have, for example, if we have three living organisms, we compare their DNA, and there is a lot of similarity among their DNA. So we are going to say they are quite related to each other and they are going to be placed together. And if they have different sequence of these four bases, there is a lot of difference in the sequence of the bases. They are going to be considered different individuals, and they are going to be different, they are going to be placed in different groups and they will be considered as different species. So over here, we have compared human DNA with these different living organisms with chimpanzee, cat, mouse, cow, fly, and banana. And we found that there is 96% similarity with between human and chimpanzee DNA. And then there is 90% similarity between a DNA of cat and human, and then 85% similarity between the DNA of human and mouse, 80% similarity between human and cow DNA, and 61% similarity between human and fruit fly, and then only 60% similarity between a DNA of human and banana. So, classification was first a person who classified living organisms was Linnaeus, and he classified living organisms into groups that were known as species. And Linnaeus species were groups of living organisms that have similar behavior and similar appearance. For example, species was the smallest group in which Linnaeus classified the living organisms, and all the organisms that were classified in one species used to share same behavior and same appearance. So, what is a species? Species are the smallest group of living organisms, and all the animals in one species can breed with each other. As a result, they will produce offsprings, and those offsprings should be further be able to reproduce. If we talk about horse and donkey, they belong to two different species. Horse is one species and donkey is another species. When horse and donkey breed with one another, as a result, mule is formed. Mule is physically very strong animal. Mule is healthy, mule is strong, but the problem is that he cannot reproduce further. Why? Because his parents belong to two different species. As a result, they formed offsprings, but that offspring is not able to reproduce further. So, when we talk about species, remember that all animals, when we talk about the true definition of species, all the animals in one species should be able to breed with one another and they should be able to produce offsprings, and those offsprings should be further able to reproduce. For example, in if we talk about horses is one species. They should breed with one another. As a result, when babies are formed, those offsprings or babies should be further able to reproduce. And similar is the case with donkeys. So, this is the hierarchy how animals are classified. They are classified in domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So, the smallest group is species. Okay. Over here, you can compare this kingdom, this tiger with wolf. Tiger and wolf belong to same order. They both belong to carnivora, but again they have different families. Tiger belongs to this family Felidae and wolf belongs to the family Canidae, and then they have different genus and different species. But they wolf and tiger belongs to same order. Now if we compare leopard with this tiger, leopard and tiger have same genus. They belong to same genus Panthera, but they belong to two different species. In the similar way, if we talk about horse and donkey again have same genus Equus, but they both belong to different species. Horse belong to the species Cabellus and donkeys belong to the species Asinus. So, how to remember this hierarchy of classification? You can just remember this one sentence. Donkey Kong puts children on flying giant squirrels. Donkey stands for domain, Kong, kingdom, puts, phylum, children, class, on, order, flying, family, giant, genus, squirrel, species. So this was today's video. I hope you liked my video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like my video. Thank you.